And we're going to watch Mr. Hovis on your left, Mr. Ross on your right. It's Sultai Death Shadow, because you can play whatever colors you want in this deck, apparently, against Infect.
Yeah, I mean, when you show up with fetch lands and shock lands, doesn't take a whole lot.
So now, by playing Sultai, you get Death Shadow, you get Goyf, you get Snapcaster Mage, Stubborn Denial, I guess, is the easiest way to look at it. Because normally you see Jund versions of this deck, where they get red for, like, Tar Fire. Some people play Lightning Bolt and Kolaghan's Command.
Yeah.
So by removing the red cards, you get these blue cards, which Stubborn Denial, Serum Vision, Snapcaster Mage, all those cards are good.
Yeah.
So, okay. What's your favorite flavor of Death Shadow? You have a favorite?
I think I like Jund.
Okay.
Just kind of the tried and true.
It seems like a lot of people are drawn to Stubborn Denial.
Yeah, I think that the blue cards they're really powerful, and depending on what you're going to run into, Stubborn Denial is an A+ card.
A Misty Rainforest for a Watery Grave and a Serum Visions by Ryan Hovis is how we start things here in round number 6 for the boss. He'll sacrifice a Misty Rainforest. He'll go get himself a Breeding Pool. This is the first time I've seen Tom do this. Sack Misty for Breeding Pool.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what comes next.
Could be anything.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow, Glistener Elf. Signed probably by himself. Pass the turn.
Hey, me, will I sign this card?
Fatal Push will take care of that. Unfortunately for Ryan, he does not have a second land.
Oof.
So for Tom, he'll play a Noble Hierarch. He'll play an Inkmoth Nexus, and pass the turn back over to Hovis. Hovis will draw. You see his hand. He's got some Maelstrom Pulses. He's got some Stubborn Denials. He now has the second land in Overgrown Tomb. There's some magic to be played here, as there's a Tarmogoyf. See how big the Tarmogoyf is here momentarily. Pretty big as a 4/5. Instant sorcery, land, creature in the graveyard. Pendelhaven here for Tom. And that is a Groundswell plus a Pendelhaven activation, which means it's an attack for 7. Okay. Tom not really fooling around here. And one of the things, unfortunately, for Ryan Hovis' deck is he's got some difficulty with Inkmoth Nexus, as he's going to play a Bauble. Take a look at Tom's top card and grow the Tarmogoyf. He only has one Abrupt Decay, which, of course, cannot kill Inkmoth Nexus.
Nope.
And then he's got Fatal Pushes. And that's really about it. Here comes Tarmogoyf, pass the turn back. Hovis will draw a card off of the Bauble. Tom is going to play a land really quick. He will Pendelhaven this. He will attack for a lethal. No, not yet.
Don't rush me.
Okay, Abrupt Decay. Okay. Abrupt Decay on the Noble Hierarch. All right, well, there's Blossoming Defense. There, take that. I have a pump spell. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Tom Ross going to win game number 1 here over Ryan Hovis. Infect very quickly up a game over Sultai Death Shadow.
Yeah, that was kind of quick.
That's how Tom likes it. Just let's make it nice and easy with the Infect deck. We're going to start with Ryan Hovis, who didn't do much in game number 1. He's going to try to do a little bit more in game numero 2. So we've got 2 Surgical Extraction, 2 Collective Brutality, 2 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Flaying Tendrils, 2 Fulminator Mage, and the 1-ofs here and go for the throat. Golgari Charm, Nile Spellbomb, and Stubborn Denial.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of these removal cards come in. I would think a card like Flaying Tendrils is going to be strong here. Go for the throat is probably very serviceable. The -1/-1 ability from Golgari Charm. All of these cards are going to be good.
All pretty good options there, actually, for Ryan. I'm not really entirely sure what the bad cards he wants to get out of his deck are. I'm not in love with Abrupt Decay, but I also don't hate it. Pulse just seems mediocre.
It's too expensive.
Lily on the Last Hope's actually very good.
As long as he lives there.
Yeah, if he can get that on the battlefield, it seems very good. The only thing it doesn't manage is Inkmoth Nexus, so that seems like a really nice option. As we go to Tom's side, you see 4 Kitchen Finks, 3 Twisted Image, 3 Dissenters Deliverance, 3 Grafdigger's Cage, a Dryad Arbor, and a Wild Defiance. Anything here that you like in this matchup? Doesn't seem like there's a lot of great stuff.
Not a lot of great stuff. He might want this Wild Defiance as a way to counter the removal spells out of his opponent. But generally, Wild Defiance is only strong against burn-type removal cards.
There's not a lot.
No.
There's not a lot, no. I don't want to say he won't sideboard, but I don't expect to see very much. So there's the options there for Tom and Ryan. We'll be underway in game number 2 here in just a moment. But in the meantime, let's talk about the StarCityGames.com YouTube page, where you can check out a lot of premium content over there, including Split Second by Jeremy Knoll, the Versus series with Brad, Todd, Tom, Ross Merriam, Michael Majors, and so many more. Commander Versus with Stephen Green, Jeremy Knoll. Who else is in there? Suarez. Ugh.
Ooh,
John,
wow.
ugh.
You're really just,
John Suarez. Blech.
you're not holding back here.
And then I like Justin Parnell. Suarez, I'll tell you, he's a piece of work, man. He's a real piece of work. Magic Online playtesting.
All right.
Jerry Thompson, Ari Lax. Ugh, Sean McLaren. Yeah.
You know.
No, Sean's great. Great hair. And best of the SCG Tour and a whole bunch more. Subscribe today. YouTube.com/StarCityGames. Become one of over 110,000 subscribers. And that means you can check out Tom Ross doing his thing in the Versus videos. If you're new to the SCG Tour, then you haven't seen the gentleman who currently resides in Roanoke, Virginia much. But if you're a mainstay around these parts, you've seen him a lot. What are you shrugging your shoulders at?
16 top 8s.
Todd's almost got him doubled.
Yeah, just like 16 is absurd and 31 is absurd, and
Those are all big numbers.
like, yeah, how do you just show up and win all the time?
I don't understand how people win nearly that much.
It's so hard to win.
He's got 5 open wins. He's got 4 invitational top 8s, 2 invitational wins. Those were back-to-back a couple of years ago. Oh, here we go. New updates. Recently started training to become a volunteer firefighter. I believe that is true.
Good for him. Giving back to the community.
Yeah, I believe that is true. Along with Michael Majors, puts 8% of all tournament winnings towards buying an NBA Jam arcade cabinet, which I know is true. And then 2016 SCG Tour Player of the Year. That is indisputable fact that is true.
Okay.
That's Tom Ross.
So everything we've seen on the slides so far today has all been true.
That's 3 for 3 on this particular slide.
All the slides.
This particular slide. This particular one. I'm going to have to do a little double checking of some other previous slides.
Yeah, I don't recall anything that wasn't.
Well, it's because we've lost so many rounds today. Yeah, it's unclear what actually happened there. But volunteer firefighter, that's probably pretty tough.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, being a
that's noble.
firefighter is no joke.
Yeah, no, that's probably really hard, actually. I can appreciate that. And so previous spare time, he likes to watch Twitch. He likes to watch Twitch streams. He likes to dominate people in GoldenEye and various other video games. He's way too good at video games.
Yeah.
Like, way too good. Frustratingly good. And, really good at Magic, too. But he's just a gamer.
Is there a way to level the playing field?
In what?
Like video games, like make him play with his feet or something. I don't know.
Occasionally. I've heard rumors that he does that sometimes.
But like playing Magic with your feet, I feel like isn't a big.
No, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Make him start with 5 cards every game, see if he can win.
I would get so frustrated.
If you
Beat
lost,
me with 5 cards again.
I have seen, I've played against Tom in GoldenEye, just straight up, hand-to-hand combat. I lost.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty.
I lost. It was closer than he thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I will say that. Tom's a pretty mild-mannered guy, very arrogant going in.
Sure.
Very arrogant.
It's GoldenEye in your wheelhouse?
I played a lot when I was younger.
Okay, yeah.
But I haven't played, in like 15 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So we played grenade launchers in the facility. Great stage, great weapon.
All right, you've already...
Did you not GoldenEye when you were a kid?
Very little.
Oh, my goodness. You didn't even live when you were young. What did you do? Go outside?
Yeah, I probably played on a sports team or something.
Ooh, you're so cool.
Yeah, I had friends I interacted with.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Sounds horrible. 2 death shadows.
Thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. Giving me these social skills and, healthy physique and everything. I don't need all of
Whatever.
this.
I'm got to catch up later in life on the physique part and the social skills
Although
part.
it's not like Tom Ross is missing out on these things.
That's true. He's got a noble hierarch and a breeding pool to start. He's at 17, while Ryan Hovis had 2 street wraiths, a mystery rainforest with a dual land. That's why his life total is so low. Be able to play Death Shadow. And now here's a Blighted Agent from Tom. Now this is always scary as an Infect player when they play a Blighted Agent, leave up some mana to be able to protect the Blighted Agent, and then Ryan Hovis could die the very next turn.
Yeah, there's actually a couple interesting things that are happening here. The Death Shadow deck deals itself a lot of damage, which generally is not a problem against Infect. But Ross has showed up with a couple copies of Rancor here. So potentially, if Ryan gets low enough, he could just Rancor up his own
Noble
Hierarch,
yeah.
hit it with a couple pump spells, and win the game that way.
Yeah, it's kind of this weird interaction in the matchup where it is, I think, totally in play for Tom to kill someone with regular damage.
Yes.
Ooh, that is really good.
Yes, that's a good one.
Golgari Charm is really good here. The -1/-1 mode here.
You know what you do here if you're Tom.
What's that?
fetch up Dryad Arbor?
He might. He had one in the sideboard. Another Ink Moth Nexus is what he's drawn. He'll play an Ink Moth Nexus and pass the turn back. Here come Death Shadow.
Yeah, Ryan really wishes he could deal himself a little more damage.
Yeah, just like a basic forest out there. He's got Snapcaster Mage in hand. Tom's drawn another copy of Noble Hierarch, so he's going to play that. He'll play another Ink Moth Nexus and pass the turn back.
He's being very careful about this.
Here's an Abrupt Decay. Hovis will draw. Cycle Street Wraith, that's big. Yeah, it's going to grow those Death Shadows. He's got a Stubborn Denial in hand. Here's an attack.
Well, and now it's online, too.
Ink Moth Nexus is going to block. Put a counter on the Death Shadow. Tom will take some damage. He's going to fall down to 5 as those Death Shadows. Well, one up. Oh, boy.
The jig is up.
Oh, boy. Well, we know now. There's a Stubborn Denial in hand.
I've been there. I've accidentally flipped the card in my hand before.
It sucks when that happens. Another Blossoming Defense to draw.
And I feel like after the chump block with your Infect land, like Tom needed the creature and then a whole bunch of pump spells, and it looks like he's playing for all one turn. And so when he loses one of his mana sources to make this happen, it just compounds the problem. It gets worse and worse and worse for him.
Overgrown Tomb's going to enter the battlefield untapped as well. Can Tom live through this turn? He's going to activate Ink Moth Nexus. He's going to sacrifice this Windswept Heath. Going to fall down to 4. I think he's going to go get the Dryad Arbor. Yep. This is going to allow him to block both copies of Death Shadow.
It's a valiant fight, but I don't know where we're going with this.
I don't know either. All right, block.
Man, that Golgari Charm.
It was really good. Now Tom's going to lose both of his things. Does he have another Dryad Arbor to go get, maybe? It's going to go down to 1. What's going on here? Does he have a second Dryad Arbor?
I don't think so. Oh, he had one.
Oh, yes!
Yeah, he has one in the board.
Okay.
And one in the main.
Now, Ryan's got Stubborn online, so I don't know what Tom needs to draw. He has to have like 2 copies of Become Immense. He drew a Misty Rainforest. If he would have drawn like a basic forest, would that have done it?
With double Become Immense?
Yeah.
Potentially.
Potentially. We'll never know. Tom Ross is going to concede this game, so Ryan Hovis is going to win game number 2 over Tom Ross. Hold-Tide Death Shadow and Infect going to a 3rd and final game. So here's what's kind of interesting about that game, for me at least. Tom had to show both Dryad Arbors.
Yep.
I think one may be expected from players playing against Infect. Second one, almost certainly not expected. And I think the plan there was to kill him with regular damage.
Yeah. Punk out his life total.
Yeah, I think that was actually the plan. And that might just be the plan overall in the matchup. As, Ryan starts getting a little aggressive with his Death Shadows and not really managing his life total very much. And Tom says, fetch up a Dryad Arbor, kill you.
Yeah, it's a bit of this bait and switch where it's like, you have to deal with these Infect creatures, right? Better kill these Infect creatures. Don't let me untap. And as Ryan's just burning off all of his resources dealing with Infect creatures, Tom can build up a few pump spells. Ryan's dealt himself all of that damage to get his Death Shadows bigger. And Tom just sneaks out a Dryad Arbor, attacks, and pumps it a few times.
I'm curious to see how game number 3 will play out. It's been that last game was pretty close. First game, obviously, very one-sided affair. Tom won that one on turn 4, game number 1. So,
yeah, Ryan missed the land drop, which is pretty huge.
Yeah, so we'll see how things do shake out in game number 3. In the meantime, let's very quickly talk about the StarCityGames.com weekly sale, where until Monday at 10:59 a.m. East Coast time, if you had to go to StarCityGames.com/weekly sale, you can get up to 60% off select Ultra Pro products. We're talking playmats, binders, deck boxes, and sleeves. And actually, we don't have any of that stuff left because Craig bought it all.
Ooh, well, my wife did.
Jasmine bought it all.
Specifically.
Jasmine bought it all. So you're telling me is that we don't have anything left now?
I haven't confirmed it with her yet because she likes to surprise me.
Okay.
But, when Star City just sold out of Alpha Black Lotuses, I can tell you that every Black Lotus that I own has come from my wife.
Every Black Lotus?
Every Black Lotus that I own right now has come from my wife.
Wow.
So, you know.
So how many do you have?
None.
Did you just get rid of them? I don't understand. You understand that they're worth a lot, right? It's a Black Lotus. They're worth a lot. Just
they're everywhere. It's like a dandelion, right?
Yeah, they're basically everywhere.
More of them will
they're
just be
weeds
popping
in
up.
the lawn.
More of them will be popping up.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. It's like playmats.
Oh man,
They're just giving them away.
I'm so torn on the playmats.
Okay.
Because a lot of the artwork has gotten so good. We haven't even gotten to our playmat promos yet.
Our playmats for season 2 are unreal.
They're so good.
They're so good.
But I already have a couple of playmats that I really like.
You can't use them all.
And yeah, it's so awkward. A judge had to talk to me because I sat down for a match and I laid out like 6 playmats. And they're like, yeah, you can't do that.
You can only use one playmat per match, Craig. That's how it works. I'm sorry.
Well, I was like, everyone can use them around me. You know?
It's like a big, like a commander game, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, that's fine, but don't spill anything on my playmats.
Don't do that.
And they're like, no, like you can't put things in other people's play area. So then I tried to stack the 6 playmats on top of each other, and they didn't like that either.
No, they just can't win.
Well, it just made my creatures feel like they had an advantage, the high ground over the other creatures.
It's basically first strike.
Yeah.
Because they're just higher up. They definitely have an reach. They all have reach. You stack 6 playmats.
Well, the opposing creatures would need reach in order to touch my creatures.
Also true. That's a flavor issue. We have a Thoughtseize here, going after Tom Ross. You see a Blighted Agent, a Become Immense, I believe a Rancor, and a Vines of the Vastwood along with a Misty Rainforest. For Tom, he has a Glistener Elf on the battlefield along with a Breeding Pool. Verdant Catacombs helped do all of that. That's why he's at 17.
And what Ryan takes here is going to tell us some about his hand. I expect the pump spell that he's the most afraid of, possibly the Rancor, is what's going to get discarded here. And then if he's got one of his quote, wrath effects of Flaying Tendrils, oh, see, he doesn't have that.
Well, that tells you that he probably has a removal spell. Then.
Yeah.
Man, Tom drew a Vine to the Vastwood because he's very skilled. Here's an attack for 3.
What else would you draw?
Yeah,
there?
I don't know what else you draw. My goodness. Hovis will be, I think, drawing a card here in just a moment. Looks like a little something might be up here.
Yeah, there's a little conversation going on.
I think he made for the bobble trigger. Right.
The bobble.
Yeah. That's why I would never play Death Shadow. That's why I would never play Death Shadow, by the way, because I would never remember.
You're tapped out.
Ever.
You've played all the interaction, and then you pass the turn, and you still have to pay attention.
I have to pay attention on their upkeep. This is why, for the record, why they don't make delayed like cantrip triggers anymore.
Yeah.
I think this is actually part of the reason.
Constantly.
They had to. Who would ever remember?
They used to be missed constantly.
The ruling, unsurprisingly, is that Ryan's trigger has been missed.
That's too bad.
Yeah?
I mean, obviously that's the ruling.
Yes. It
It's
is
just
too bad.
Too bad that Ryan missed it.
That is a Verdant Catacombs for Mr. Hovis. I'll be honest, I'm surprised we don't see more people miss the trigger for Bobble. Now, we do watch a lot of like the very best people on the SCG Tour play Death Shadow. Brad, we've watched Todd, Jerry, a bunch of people play it. And those guys are very unlikely to miss triggers. But I'm surprised that we still don't see it more because it is such a weird time to remember to draw.
I think one of the things in play with that is that this is a newer deck that's quite expensive to acquire.
Okay.
So the barrier to entry is fairly high. Mm-hmm. Not just everyone at their local Friday Night Magic suddenly has this deck put together and is playing with it.
Very true.
So you have to be pretty committed to go out and spend, I don't even know how much they are, $15 each for baubles or whatever.
Oh, baubles are, they are a lot.
I don't even want to know how much I was off.
They are a lot.
Like,
here's an attack for 3 more.
You know, one of my old school buddies that I see now and then, we joke about how much we used to draft, and all of the uncommons and commons that are worth so much money now used to just go right in the trash can. You know, you draft, you pull out the rares, everything else goes in the trash. Like just piles of wastelands and cursed catchers and all the elves that are worth a lot now.
So I remember one of my roommates during college, Magic player, his name's Zach Wolf from Nebraska. He keeps like everything, always, and we used to draft a pretty decent amount when we were living together. And I remember like one night we were like cleaning up the apartment, and I was just gonna throw all the cards away. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm just like, "Dude, who cares? Who cares?" And he's like, "Those are probably gonna be worth something at some point." And I remember he also like because he keeps track of everything. I remember I was testing for a Pro Tour,
Okay.
and I proxied on the back of a Wirewood Hive Master, or Wirewood Hive Master.
Okay.
And he like actually got mad at me. He's like, "That's worth something now." It's like $1.
Sure.
He's like, "It's definitely gonna be worth something because it's never being reprinted." And I'm just like, "Dude, are we seriously arguing over this?" He was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was right.
Yeah.
So, I fold.
All right. Getting back to this match, we've
Getting back to the match, let's talk about Wirewood Hive Master.
We've seen some kind of cagey back and forth here where Tom is just getting in the free damage while he can, and Ryan doesn't want to tap out for a removal spell. And I think both players are kind of right in their decisions.
Yeah. Death Shadow's out here. Not all that big.
Well, it's threatening to get bigger with a fetch land.
Yep. What Tom is missing right now is he's just missing land number 3. So he's going to play Might of Old Crozier to start. Ryan is going to sacrifice a fetch land. He's going to take at least 1, potentially 3.
Yeah, and I think he needs something like Fatal Push plus Counterspell here, plus a Stubborn Denial. Yeah. And that'll really swing the game back in his direction.
It's a Watery Grave. Going to bring him down to 9, which means Death Shadow is a 4/4.
Denial online, although that doesn't matter either way.
Yeah.
It's not like Tom has a bunch of lands he's not using.
Yep, here's Stubborn Denial. Take care of Might of Old Crozier. Now I'm curious to see if Tom is going to attack or just pass, because he is pretty constricted right now.
Yeah.
See, he's got Noble Hierarch, Become Immense, and at least 1 Vines of the Vastwood, potentially a second in his hand.
Yep, looks like 2 of them.
But is there a move to make right now?
Well, Ryan would definitely block here. He's 100% on blocking.
Oh, yeah.
He's already taken 6 poison counters.
I think a block is very easy here for Hovis.
Yes, yeah, for sure. The question Tom is asking himself is, does it get better for me?
Yeah, do I need to attack? Does Ryan have anything? A single mana.
Well, Tom, he even has the backup plan that we talked about last turn of pump spells going towards the opponent's dome.
Yeah. Tom is going to sacrifice this Misty Rainforest. He's going to get a basic forest.
Yep, he's going to deploy the Hierarch and try to trade with this Death Shadow.
Maybe. I think it's possible he doesn't attack. If he thinks that Ryan's hand is soft?
Yeah, it's definitely possible he doesn't attack. It already has Trample, so the pump spells are great with the Infect, but obviously he wanted to trade.
Yeah, and the Infect plan, or excuse me, the regular damage plan is still plenty good.
They're both live.
Yeah. He like kind of has to deal as much Infect damage as he needs to deal regular damage.
Yep.
So this is totally reasonable. The tough part is if Tom loses his, if he loses his Noble Hierarch, he's in some trouble. And he just lost his Noble Hierarch, and now he might be in some trouble. So here's Collective Brutality.
Yeah, losing his hand as well.
The hand is Rancor, Become Immense, 2 Vines of the Vastwood, because Ryan is predictably selected the Duress mode of Collective Brutality, along with the Kill the Noble Hierarch mode. So he's going to take Become Immense. Now he knows what he's got to work against.
Yeah. But Ryan's hand is not great.
No, there's not a lot going on. Tom's just going to draw and pass the turn.
Tom just needs to peel another threat, and he's back in the driver's seat.
Another Death Shadow means that his hand is actually not too bad.
Yeah.
Tom will draw. Pendlehaven. He'll play that and pass the turn back. What's interesting here, the Death Shadow's a 4/4. Let's make it a 5/5, potentially a 7/7 here for Hovis.
Yep, he's going big.
Yeah, I think he just needs to get the game over with. What's kind of unique about this situation is for Tom, drawing a creature is great, drawing a fetch land is great.
Yeah.
For Dryad Arbor, Hovis will draw.
He has a lot of outs. He doesn't want any more of these pump spells.
Here's an attack from Death Shadow. I think he just drew another one. Oh, boy.
Man.
Tom drew a Glistener Elf. I mean, he has to block now.
Tom has the old Nambo of Pendlehaven Rancor.
Yeah, not a combo. Well, this game got away from him.
Yeah, I mean, he was just constricted on mana for that one or two turns.
Here's Vines of the Vastwood. And
yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's that. There's no coming back now. That's going to do it. Ryan Hovis with 4 Death Shadows in game number 3 is going to take care of Tom Ross as Sultai Death Shadow dispatches Infect.